Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, good morning and welcome from our cozy little condo here in Breckenridge, Colorado, where my friend and Tim Ham is back in our FanStream Sports Dallas studio. Probably a lot warmer than it is up here. We got about 22 degrees. The snow is falling. The wind's blowing about 15 miles per hour. So
Nice.
Should be a fabulous day on the slopes. A fabulous day on the slopes.
Yikes.
Nah, it's cold. It's cold. No question about it. But that's why we're here, to do a little skiing. It could be worse. Could be worse. Like we've done it in 10 below, 5 below. Those are not days that are very good skiing. So
No amount of layers can keep you from the 22 below. No,
but it's going to get up into the 30s. So there's fresh
perfect.
powder, 30 skiing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
JP, are you old school like me and you ski in your jeans and you just spray starch them?
Them? No. We have actual snow garments.
You got the bib and everything.
Oh God, yeah, of course.
Yeah. I always ski in jeans.
What's it called? Gay par? My boys Woody and Nelson are here. We've been doing this for 40 years in our condo here. And today is what they call Gay Par Day.
Huh.
Now, if you'd like to take a guess at what that means up here in Breckenridge, by all means, go right ahead.
Huh.
But probably not. So Gay Par Day, I'm not exactly sure what the gay par is between the. Okay, all right. So gaping in terms of your helmet to your helmet or your hat to your goggles, it makes you look like a tourist, and you're skiing in jeans and having no idea how to ski, and you're just running into people. So today is the day that they officially set aside to make fun of people like us. But
you ski in a helmet?
I have not most of my life. Most of my life, I have not skied with a helmet. But now, if you don't ski with a helmet, they give you the dumbass look. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't ski fast enough to need a helmet, but you never know. No, I ski. Last couple of years, I have. As you get older, probably a good idea. Probably a smarter idea to wear the helmet. But
I don't wear one when I ride a bike, and I'm not wearing one when I ski. Sorry.
No, I got you. Yes, B. I am in Colorado because Stu ran me out of town. Now, on this wonderful April 1st, I was going to come out and just tell you all how I have now turned to Team Stu, but that would be the most obvious April Fool's joke ever. So we're not going to do that. But we could do a complete satire. And judging from some of the Twitter comments over the last week or so, the fact that Stu still has fans amazes me. But so the guy that went viral on Friday at the opener, he doesn't want his name out there because for fear of retribution from his boss. I know the feeling, by the way. So we're just going to call him Stooger McRae. Stooger McRae is going to join us at 10:15 and tell us the whole story of behind the sign and the reactions that he got. I was surprised he didn't get tossed out.
Me too. From the video,
I was shocked that he was not tossed out. So we'll hear his whole story coming up at 10:15. We'll talk a little Lightning, a little Bucs, as well as the owners' meetings get started down there at the Breakers and the Tush push.
Oh, we lost you. Lost your audio. But yeah, the league meetings are underway, and there's a lot. Jason Light spilled a lot yesterday in the first day. There you go.
Am I back? All right.
You're back, yeah.
Had a microphone lose power there, so now we're
already.
Back. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get them powered up. That's why I got a backup, baby. That's why we do that. Yeah. So you were saying about the winter meetings?
Yeah, Jason Light yesterday on Monday, as most of the owners and coaches, they sort of get out in front of the media and try to get a lot of stuff out on the table for the rest of the week. And Jason Light discussed the Hassan Reddick deal, his plans, how that might affect their plans in the draft for a linebacker. Reddick's season last year and whether or not that made him hesitant to sign him. And he spoke on all of that. Spoke on a little bit of Jamel Dean and the future at cornerback, the depth at cornerback on the team. Talked about a lot of that stuff. So we can get into some of those quotes too at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think none of it is incredibly surprising. I think, where the Bucs are headed in the draft is we've talked about it already. I think edge rusher at 19 is almost a certainty, but there's still, I think defensive tackle is obviously an option where they could go. The wide receiver, not as much, because I think you might be able to get one a little bit later in the draft, and the Bucs have certainly showed that, getting McMillan and Godwin in the third round. So I think those are the places that they're going to go. Inside linebacker as well, although obviously you're not going to take one, with the 19th overall pick. So, I think they could go corner. I'd say 85% edge rusher, 15% corner. That would be if I'm throwing odds out there because there's going to be some really good edge rushers on the board at 19 that I don't think would normally be there. That's how deep this draft is. And and interesting. So, I'm out here in Colorado and I'm always working, Tim. You know that.
I know.
There's no days off. It's 24/7. I love you people. I do it all for you. But so we're doing research, as we're known to do. So where did we go? Well, we went into some of the bars and restaurants, and we wanted to find out if we could get any information on Shedeur Sanders or Shiloh Sanders. Some of these Colorado players. And what do you know? There were a few. There was a lovely young lady and her mom at the bar, and that goes to CU. Yeah, and
I have questions, but not about Shedeur.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this. But no, we were just very much interested in, did you see him on campus? Did you hang with them? Yeah. Yeah. My roommate dated Shiloh for a little while, she says. Oh. So the conversation continued, and I don't want to get too specific. Obviously, we don't want to get too specific. Let's just say if those players were to drop in the draft, it wouldn't shock me.
No.
It wouldn't shock me. Obviously you see what you see on the tape. I think Shedeur is a really good quarterback. I think he can play in the league. I don't think there's any question about that. If he drops in the draft, it will be more for the off the field stuff that teams are worried about. We'll just put it that way.
Do you want my so of course I cover the Browns as one of my teams, and so of course with the number 2 pick and the Titans almost guaranteed to take Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders has been all over, the discussions with the Browns. And the more that I've looked at him and the more that I've done what little research, and I'm not a draft analyst by any stretch, but just from what I can see on tape and the tape that I've watched, you know who my NFL comp is for him?
Oh,
Jameis Winston. That's my NFL comp for Shedeur Sanders. And look, I don't think if this was not such a quarterback needy draft, if you didn't have so many teams desperate for a quarterback, I don't know that Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders would go in the first round. I don't know that either one of these guys are first round quarterbacks. Cam Ward more so than Shedeur Sanders for sure.
Yeah, I think Cam is, and as the league is where the league is going, I think Cam fits the league more. Mobile quarterbacks who, can play a lot of the RPO action. His comp for me for Cam Ward, although I think he's a much better thrower of the football. I don't know. He's kind of a unique player.
Cam is, yeah.
Yeah, Cam has got great. He could just throw so well off platform. Mm-hmm. That to me is what is most impressive. And he's very accurate down the field when he throws off platform. And you can't, that's stuff you cannot coach. If he can get with a decent organization, but that's not going to happen. I don't know. The Titans have been an up and down organization. I think we can say that, right? And I think obviously under Vrabel, they had their time, and then that disintegrated because of the organization. So I don't have a whole lot of faith in him going to Tennessee. It's not like that's a place that's loaded with talent, but we'll see.
They weren't able to develop Will Levis, and I thought Will Levis had more talent than a lot of the guys that went ahead of him that year. I don't think he's, a great NFL quarterback, but I thought he would be serviceable, and he has shown nothing in the Titans organization. And if they draft Cam Ward and Will Levis gets sent somewhere else, I think he'll be a decent starter somewhere else.
All right, we'll see. I don't think he processes the information as quickly as he needs to. He seems to me to be a guy that tends to hold the ball and doesn't read the field.
He's a project.
And I think that's probably Shador's strength. I think Shador makes great decisions. He's mobile. He can throw off platform. He's incredibly accurate. Throws a really good deep ball. But more than anything, I think now, of course, he's done nothing but play in a single system that his dad has coached. So he's had, tens of thousands of reps in that system. Now he's going to go to a different system, obviously in the NFL, but will he be able to process the same? We'll see. I think he will. I think, once he gets used to it, I think he will. But I also think, if he goes to Cleveland, all the, being, quote, the savior, I just don't think that's a good cultural fit for him. And, if his shenanigans on campus, follow him, that's going to be tough. And there's no question that, listen, if you can go sit at a bar in Breckenridge and find out, how the Colorado football players act on campus, and it's not good. It's not good. And of course, this is just, a couple people's opinion, but it's not like we haven't heard it before. So if he slides in the draft, I think that will be one of the concerns. But clearly, when it comes to Cleveland, moral and ethical concerns are clearly not at the top of their list when you're signing Deshaun Watson. So
I'm a little shocked to hear anything about Shedeur Sanders or Travis Hunter on campus, because all I heard all year for 2 years is that they don't go to school. They don't go to classes. They do everything online. Everything is virtual.
Oh, I didn't say that this was in class.
Just on campus at parties. Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, no, these are more out of class on campus stories than anything else. So.
And Shiloh didn't even get invited to the combine, did he?
I
don't think Shiloh even went to the combine. I don't think he was invited.
Yeah,
so he's not getting drafted.
But Shedeur, we'll see. We'll see if his talent can overcome some of the other issues. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back on the other side, our good friend Stooger McRae will be joining us, and he will tell us all about the Rays home opener. We'll get to the Rays game yesterday, by the way, another big win, 6-1 for them. So we'll get to that as well. We'll talk some baseball and all that good stuff as we roll on here on a special edition from the slopes of Colorado of the J.P. Peterson Show. We're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. If you have any legal issues whatsoever, you get involved in an accident, make that your first call to the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. Not attorney spokesman offices, Tampa and St. Pete. Back in 3.
Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Rays! JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett in On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at on-site construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here, live from Dallas and Breckenridge as we talk all Tampa Bay sports, because that's what we do. No days off. Brought to you by our great new advertisers. You see their logos right there, Riveters. You just heard about their great food, their fresh food over there. Got a great happy hour, by the way, $3.50 Bud Lights and great prices, $5 Wells. Got great appetizers on special as well. Check out the chicken dip. The buffalo chicken dip is fantastic. $8 for happy hour. All at Riveters, just north of 275, just south of Steinbrenner Field. All right. Do we have Stuger on?
Stuger McRae is here.
Stuger McRae is joining us here. That is going to be the name he goes as because he wants to remain somewhat anonymous. But Stuger, I don't know. It's going to be tough after that viral video you did on Friday. How you doing, partner?
Doing great. Good to talk to you, JP, Tim. Yeah, I thought about going last night. My wife's like, "Why don't you stay at home watching on TV with the
kids?" So, if folks didn't see it went viral, millions of views. You were holding up the sign right underneath where Stu was sitting in the luxury box. So, tell us the whole story.
So I normally don't go to opening day because it's so busy, but I mean, long-time season ticket holder. I've been going to games, back in the days where we had the green jerseys, and it was terrible. But this year, my buddy was, hey man, third base side, I got tickets, front row, right behind the dugout. I'm like, holy crap, I got to go. So I rustled up my dad, my uncle, both huge Rays fans, lived here their entire life. And I'm like, let's go. We're going to opening day. So super excited. So I decided my kids are in class. They're middle school, high school. I said, you know what? I want to have my own arts and crafts. So spent about a half an hour making a couple signs. And the simple one was the best, right? It said sell on one side and sell Stu on the other. And so I'm just sitting there above the dugout. I'm holding up the sign, between innings. I'm not trying to make a fool of myself. I'm not trying to get in people's way, block the baseball, experience. But so that was most of the game. And then I said, you know what? Hey guys, let's go over towards right field. Let's plan our exit. We're gonna have a walk off. It's gonna happen, and thankfully it did. But I'm walking with my head down. I hold the sign up, real high, and I'm not a short guy, but I'm doing it between plays. Fairbanks is pitching. Next thing I know, a guy comes racing down the stands. Hey! Like I got three heads. I'm like, dude, what's up? He goes, Stu is right up there. Look right up there in the box. There he is. And I stop like I'm stuck in quicksand. Next thing I know, I'm not a young guy, but the 22-year-old me that used to go to the Bucs games with his face painted and a big red wig, I lock eyes with Stu like two 22-year-old lovers, and I do not, I do not break eye contact. And at that point, I just lost it. I just screamed to the top of my lungs, "Hey, everybody! There he is! There's Stu Sternberg, the guy that won't sell the team. Let him hear you. He's right there. Sell the team, Stu. Sell." And all of that was on video, but that was it. Then I put my head down and walked away.
How many beverages in were you at this point? That's what everybody wants to know.
It was just those two tall boy Bud Heavies. That was it.
All right.
So when you Stuger McRae joining us, disgruntled Rays fan, when you locked eyes with Stu, what did you see in his eyes?
Like he didn't give a darn. That's what it was. He was sitting there. He was sitting there up in his ivory tower, looking at the peasants, going, "Dude, I don't care. Like you're acting like an idiot." I'm like, you know what? That's what my wife said. You're acting like an idiot. I don't care. It made me laugh. Made a bunch of other people laugh. Now there was one lady. My dad told me because he was standing right next to me. So we're, by the way, a security guard and a Tampa sheriff's deputy. They were standing right in front of me. You couldn't see in the video. They were chuckling. They didn't care either. But my dad said there's this lady about 5 rows down below Stu. She gave me the double finger salute. I didn't see her. Dad goes, "Oh, she was hot. She was not happy with your sign." I'm like, "Oh, it must have been Stu's sister or something." But that's against the fan code of conduct. This is a friendly family event. What business does she have to give me the double finger salute?
That's rude. So rude. Wow. I thought when you stared into his eyes, you might see dollar signs. But anyway,
that's funny.
But yeah, indifference is probably exactly right. That's exactly what he does. He looks down onto people as a bunch of rubes and idiots that he could screw over and get the real estate deal. And guess what? He lost the game of chess, and now he's got no options. So tell me, Stooger McRae, why are you upset with Stu?
It's the same story as you're telling, but I'll give it to you from my perspective, just as a regular fan, a regular dude. 600+ million taxpayer dollars from the city of St. Pete, Pinellas County. Unfortunately, when I go to the barber shop, go to different places, people don't understand unless they're locked in. So unfortunately, the local TV and print media, they've been far from forthcoming in just giving all the locals, not just sports fans, the clear picture. I mean, we all remember the Montreal Split City joke, right? Yep. That was a bluff. That was a dopey bluff. You were the only one calling it. I mean, we all knew that deal was never going to get past the MLB Players Association. That alone would have killed it. But they're so tone deaf that they put up a banner in right field in the Trop just before the playoffs. They put it up and they quickly brought it down because the fans went nuts. Along those lines, they trade last year arguably the most fan favorite player in Randy Rosarena. That one hit my 13-year-old son like really hard. It was his favorite player. They trade a guy where you have an entire section, 147 in left field named Randy Land. Our announcers, Dwayne and BA, I saw in that game. They were calling the game from the middle of section 147, like Harry Carey for the Cubs back in the 80s, hammering beers. It was a great marketing plan, ruined by someone in the organization who just can't see the big picture. We're diehard sports fans. I made the sell sign, hanging out with my dad, my uncle, and good friend. I've been to all 30 Major League Baseball parks. I'm a huge Rays fan. Used to talk with my grandfather every day before he passed away a couple years ago. The Rays mean a lot to us. My kids had gloves and baseball signs from G-Man Choi, Randy Rosarena. The last regular season, the game in 2021, we went down there, and I'll be forever grateful. I'm not poo-pooing the Rays organization. We love what they've done in the front office and players. But I'll be forever grateful to the Rays management for allowing us to stay that last game of 2021 well over an hour after the game to celebrate with the players and family, and we just all stood above the Rays dugout. That was a super special day after the ridiculous and unnecessary shutdown of 2020 with no fans. But you say, it's just a sports team. But it ties the community together, and I laugh when people say, "Oh, they could move the team." No, they're not. Some sports book out there should put odds on it because that would reveal the truth. The Rays are here to stay, not Stu. Right? No one's going to enter a handshake agreement with Stu. He can't keep his print agreements.
Well, I think that was incredibly well said, and I'm glad that you brought your 13-year-old into it because as we saw, I put this on Twitter. There was another chart the other day that showed the Rays are the third worst in terms of spending their income on payroll. They have over $300 million worth of revenue each year, and they only spend 100. It's 33% basically, which is third lowest. Last year they were second lowest. So this false narrative that this team can't afford their stars is completely false. They could do it. Stu refuses to do it, and we deserve a stadium in a location that is accessible to all Rays fans, not the 20% of the market that lives in Pinellas County that don't go to the games anyway. And we deserve a stadium that's not completely obsolete before it even opened. And that means a state-of-the-art stadium that has all the amenities that stadium. We deserve that as a fan base. And Stu is the one holding us hostage and everybody else hostage. So I think it's, when people say Rays fans don't care or they don't deserve it or, I just say, listen to this. Listen to my friend Stuger McRae and his 13-year-old son who had to watch his favorite player walk out the door. And Randy Arozarena had to pay for his own tickets to come into the stadium and thank his fans. I mean, it's incredible. And to your point, Stuger, it's not just about winning baseball games. There's a lot more to it, right?
There is, and it's just it's back to that they're tone deaf up there, and I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's collectively. I don't know if it's a virus within that front office. I mean, they've certainly done great with the on the field product. No one's arguing with that. I mean, that was from 2007 to 2008. I mean, my kids and I we're both looking at old videos. I mean, now they were really young back in 08, but I'm like, guys, the 08 season, I'm sorry, to me personally, that's going to be one of the most magical seasons ever, you know, much like the 98 breakout when they changed the jerseys.
Yeah.
But they do remember, I mean, we went out. I mean, I might have been a little dopey about it, but I did grab my parents, grab my kids, wife. We attended game 2 of the World Series out in Dallas in 2020. We flew out there without tickets. I mean, I was like, this is stupid, but I don't care. And 2 hours before the game, I got tickets just through the Rangers box office. It was just super lucky. But you know, we're not fair weather fans. It takes a long time to build up a fan base, right? These kids, what was it? Matt Joyce went to Brandon, right? And then he was a Rays player.
Yeah.
He grew up a Rays fan. It takes a long time to build a fan base, and we're 25 plus years,
27 years in.
Yeah. So we want them. We want them here to stay. Like I hope. Yeah, the Rays are going to stay. Stu is not. It's just a matter of time. I put my money on it, and you know, hopefully some sports book will put some odds out there because that'll tell the truth.
Well, and I want to get your take on just the vibe compared to Tropicana Field. How would you compare Steinbrenner Field to the Trop? You've been to obviously a gazillion games at the Trop.
It was awesome. My buddy played. My buddy that I was sitting next to played college baseball, and he goes, "Man, you don't hear that inside the dome. You hear that crack of the bat." And that was pretty cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, the Trop clearly is going to be louder, right? Playoffs inside the Trop is definite.
Yeah,
it's just crazy loud. But Joe Madden used to call it what, the pit. You know, and it had that stale atmosphere. But you know, many times you hear thunder inside the Trop, and I'm like, see, kids, that's why we have a dome. I mean, clearly the new stadium is going to have to be covered in some sort to be, you know, protected from the lightning capital of the world, right? And that's why they named the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah,
somebody's wife and backyard. But it was great atmosphere. Great atmosphere.
So will you go to a lot more games, I'm guessing?
I don't know. I live down here in Bradenton, so a little bit longer. But listen, I'm not going to make the excuse. My sister lives in South Tampa, and it was shorter for my sister to get from her house in South Tampa to the Trop than it was for me to get from Bradenton across the Skyway to Pinellas. So I really don't want to hear the excuses from the folks on the Tampa side. There's no more bridge to drive over. I'll drive over the bridge. I'm going over Howard Franklin.
Right.
You guys don't have a bridge to drive over. Show up. There's no more excuses. I get it if you want to protest Stu and what he's doing. Protest, show up with a sign. I mean, they looked at all 4 of my signs walking in. I even asked the security guard, I go, hey, which one's your favorite sign? He goes, no, I'm not doing that, man. I like my job.
So they let you in. They didn't hassle you about the signs at all.
No, not at all. Because there is a catch-all on the bottom of the banners and posters part of the website. It says no derogatory language or symbols. No foul language. And but Steinbrenner Field does reserve the right to move to remove anything. So they do have a catch-all written in there. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely going to test it out. Maybe in a week or two when I go to my second game.
Yeah, that was my next question. Will you take the signs back with you when you go back?
Yeah, but it's not going to bring the effect of I'm not on TikTok, but my son told me, Dad, it's got 1 million views on TikTok. There will be no effective encore, but I probably will. I'll probably go sit out there in right field in the front row. I mean, those are super cheap tickets. Like, are you kidding me? Front row?
Yeah. What was your overall reaction to the sign as you walked through the stands?
Oh, there were some fans that loved it, and they were hot. I mean, this one guy, he had to have been in his 70s or 80s, and he used some choice language. He goes, if I saw Stu, I'd let him have it. So, yeah.
Well, he's right there.
Not one person that was, like, anti-sign. But, I was holding it down next to my next to my waist. I wasn't holding it up the entire time, but I was standing behind the left field side. Grabbed my first of 2 beers, and people were like, "Whoa, man, what's that sign?" I'm like, "Oh my God, that's awesome! Yeah, we got to get rid of him." Not one person defended Stu Sternberg. Not one.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. I mean, I hope we're going to send this clip to the commissioner's office, because I want him to know that, I mean, you are the ultimate Rays fan. I mean, like you took your entire family to Texas during COVID without tickets to go see the World Series. I mean, who does that? You are bananas. But you're the type of fan that Major League Baseball doesn't have enough of. And you're sitting here saying, look, we love the team, but you got to get rid of this owner. And you are symbolic, I would say, of about 95% of the fan base. And so when it gets to this point, Major League Baseball has got to act. They did it with Namoli. They should do it with Stu. And I hope folks like you continue to have the courage, because it does take some courage. Yeah, it's some tomfoolery involved, but it takes some courage and some balls to do it. And the fact that you've been listening to our show for a long time, I feel like a proud papa, Stooger. A proud papa. You made me so proud. I can't even tell you.
That's pretty fine. No, I appreciate it. I mean, that's why I'm able to kind of talk with other people around the country and just like, no, that's not the way it is. I work with a lot of people that are not from the Tampa area. I work with people from all over the nation, and they just hear little clips from ESPN, right? They hear little clips from the national media, and unfortunately, like other topics, they're not covering it honestly. So it's nice to get it straight from you. I have a boss. That's the reason why I'm Studer McRae today. JP, you are the boss. You don't have a boss. That's why you're able to hold it straight. So I totally understand why Topkin and some of the other guys, they got to be careful, because the Rays could say, you know what, we're pulling your locker room credentials. Not that they would, but they could.
Exactly. Yeah,
they might.
No, they would. They would.
Yeah.
Trust me. If they don't like what you're saying, there will be retribution. So I understand your want to be anonymous. Well, listen, thank you for what you did. Thank you for your time on here. Don't be a stranger. We'll get you back on next time you go to a game. Thanks, partner.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you up at Palmacia maybe one day when they get the greens done.
Yes, let's do that. Absolutely. On me. Let's go.
There he goes.
Appreciate it. There's
Studer McRae.
Studer McRae. Anti-Stu sign painter. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah. Yeah, it takes some balls to do that. So I love it. I appreciate it. All right, let's take another break. When we come back, we're going to get into the baseball side of the Rays. Great start for them now, 3-1. They got the Pirates again tonight, and then they got Skeens on Wednesday. So we'll talk about what's going on the field as well. We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. If you have not had your business insurance checked up, if you've not had your auto insurance checked up, your homeowner's insurance, let them do the check. They will go through all of them, see what you're paying, make sure you're fully insured, and hopefully save you hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars like they've done for so many. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Back in 3. Stay with us.
Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, are you going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show? It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. Summer is coming. Do not get caught with your unit unprepared. Your AC unit, of course. The awesome folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC have a special going on right now. You get a free 1-year maintenance package with any purchase of a new unit. They have special 60-month financing as well, so you don't need a huge chunk up front. Third Generation has an impeccable reputation built over 30 years of doing business. They do plumbing, AC, mechanical work, anything you need around the house. They are trusted folks. Go to the website and read the 5-star reviews. Deidre said, great company that always arrives timely. We have used them for our AC both in home and business and have been very happy. The staff is knowledgeable and professional. I would recommend Third Generation again and again. So give Third Generation a call at 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back. Breaking news. The Rays have agreed to go forward with the St. Pete plan at the final moment before the clock ticked midnight last night. Oh, if only that were true. If only that were true. Actually, I'm glad it didn't come true, to be quite honest, because that would have been a colossal mistake. Thank you, April Fools. Welcome to the JP Peterson Show, live from Colorado. Brought to you by our great friends at On-Site Construction, one of our new advertisers. You're looking to renovate or build from the ground up, commercially or residentially. There are great folks over there, over 25 years of experience doing these things, tons of 5-star reviews, great testimonials. These are folks that will do it on time and on budget. They have a great reputation, so check out their website, onsiteconstructionfl.com. That's onsiteconstructionfl.com. They do great work. Check out all the pictures of the stuff they've done. Fantastic work in on-site construction. So, yes, the agreement officially expired at midnight last night. The Times just dropped a story on that. Nothing really new in the story. A couple quotes from Ken Welsh basically saying that they're prepared to move on with or without the Rays. And obviously the Rays can now move forward and start talking to other cities to move there post-2028. So before you get your panties in a wad, they need a 2/3 vote to move the team to Orlando or anywhere else. Don't be fooled. And there will be relocation fees, all those things. And if you haven't read the room yet, the owners and Major League Baseball are in no mood to give Stu Sternberg what he wants. They want the market here. Rob Manfred reiterated that the other day very strongly, saying that he loves the Tampa St. Pete market, not the Orlando market. For all you Orlando dreamers, you guys, hey, great city, a lot of cool stuff. Not a place for a baseball stadium by far. Just build another theme park. It'll be wonderful. So that's not happened. So now the deal is officially closed, and now they can go negotiate other places. Now, does this open it up for a sale? Absolutely. They're free from that lease, those encumbrments. So if you were a group that we've talked about that did not want to build in St. Pete, now you can officially, if you're going to buy the team, start working on a stadium deal in Tampa, which is what is happening, we're told. So hopefully that gets done. But when it gets done, depends on how long Stu wants to hold the team hostage. So that's where we're at. A couple of comments from our wonderful viewers. Lonnie Wilkins, good morning to you. Said, had a great time at the Rays game last night. Way better vibe than the Trop. And fans were into it. It wasn't all Pinellas tourists. Grandfather had a blast as well, and the staff was excellent.
Good.
That, Lonnie.
Good.
Yeah, another win last night, 6-1. Jake Mangum, who's been in the minors for, 8 years, 29 years old, finally got his call up the other day. Had to take a 3-hour Uber ride back to Durham to get his stuff, then to town, all his friends and family there. And last night he goes out and goes 4 for 4, gets a 2-run single, 2 RBIs, a couple of stolen bases. And according to the Rays, that is the first time in Major League history that a player has gone 4 for 4 within the first 2 games of his career. So obscure stat, but hey, That's a good start for Jake Mangum. And let's just be honest. This is not, it's not a kid that's going to win the American League batting title anytime soon, although he is the all-time hit king in the SEC at Mississippi State. But a good, good role player. But right now, with Josh Lowe out, this offense, it was good to see them play a little small ball and get the ball in play. Not a ton of strikeouts. They won 6-1. Rasmussen looked fantastic. Went 5 innings, struck out 4, no walks. Looked really, really good. Had great velocity, great control. So another solid win for the Rays. 6-1. Now 3-1 on the season.
Now I don't know if you mentioned this. Maybe you did. I might have zoned out with my NyQuil haze that I'm about to be in here pretty soon.
I can understand
Mangum, not only did he get 4 hits, he got 2 hits from each side of the plate.
Yeah.
So
that's unusual. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just his whole family being there. It's a great vibe. He did a really emotional interview afterwards with Ryan Bass. He did a great job capturing that emotion. Really, really fun stuff. I retweeted it on my Twitter, so go check that out. And just a good vibe, man. And I believe that a house was sold out again. So
attendance was 10,046. So that's
a sellout. That's a sellout. So 4 straight sellouts, as it should be. And Wednesday is a day game. Still, I guess I don't think they're locally. They're not on spring break, but who knows? I think there'll be Paul Skeens is pitching. You better fill the house for that one. Yeah. Now I don't. If you want to go see some Rays runs, I would go today, and I wouldn't go Wednesday. That might be a little bit too much to ask at this point.
And by the way, you're welcome also. As the Rangers took 3 of 4 from Boston in the opening weekend here in Texas.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Very welcome.
Well, so the Rays' first road games are in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So this weekend. So we'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll be out there. And you see what hat I'll be wearing?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it ain't Rays, but come on, I got to represent, right?
I love it. I
got a spot right under here. Right under here, I got a spot for Chief to sign it, for Brian Bradley to sign it, for Engblom to sign it.
Nice.
And, of course, for JP. I mean,
well, don't ruin the hat. Don't ruin the hat. Last Waltz Media said, my foster boy had so much fun last night. Got a button from the guest services last night. They were great. And we got a ball that Taylor Walls threw into the crowd in the ninth. Rays. There you go. You go to a game, you get your free button, and then you get a ball from the game. I mean, you're an all-time fan.
Yeah.
You're an all-time fan. Love that. Absolutely love that.
By the way, I will be spending my birthday weekend out at Rough Rider Stadium here right down the road, as some of you guys have heard me talk about, the AA affiliate of the Rangers. And their awesome 10,000 or 8,500 seat stadium. It's my birthday weekend. They're opening the season against the Corpus Christi Hooks. And guess who will be the honored guest of the owner of the stadium and the franchise? This guy.
Yeah, let's go.
Birthday. I'll get some pictures for you guys, and the stadium's beautiful. That now that the Rays are playing in a major league stadium like Steinbrenner Field, I'll get you guys an idea of kind of what it looks like on this end with our lazy river in right field.
Yeah,
I'm taking my swim trunks just in case we get out there. It's gonna be a little chilly still, but so I'm a little stoked, man. Chuck called me and goes, "Hey, happy birthday," which I didn't even know he knew it was my birthday. He goes, "Can you come out to one of the games this week?" And I said, "I'm already planning on being there Saturday night." He said, "Well, come on out. We'll hang out. Drinks are on me, and we'll make a party out of it." So, man, I can't wait for Saturday.
You get to throw out the first pitch?
No, I don't want to do that. He almost let me do that last year. I got a chance to do that last year, and I was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Did you bounce it?
I didn't do it. I didn't throw it. I'm afraid I will. I might throw it over the screen.
Yeah, well, that's when you go viral. That's when you go viral.
True. That's true.
Kenneth McClary says, "What? I'm not jealous of you skiing, but I am jealous of you with the cold." It's supposed to be 90 degrees there in Tampa today?
Oh, yikes!
Yeah, no bueno. Or feels like
we're supposed to have softball size hail and thunderstorms here in Dallas today. So,
yikes!
And it's 80 degrees right now.
B says, "JP and Stu about same age. We need to have a cage match." Oh, please. No, we never threaten violence.
No.
But if you agree to it, it's not violence. It's a match.
Yeah.
It's a match. Yeah, I wouldn't say no. For charity, let's do it for charity. Just come on the show. You don't have to do it. We don't have to do a fight. Let's just come on the show. Have a debate.
Or maybe y'all can raise money to sign a pitcher. Get some help on the bullpen.
Absolutely. I have nothing personal against Stu at all. You bought me coffee in Havana, paid for my trip to Havana. One of the highlights of my career. Are you kidding me? We were the first free voices to broadcast from Cuba since 1959.
Wow.
Without a censor standing over our head. So
with the dump button?
Yeah.
You had the dump button there.
When I was told that, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. John Hill says the Colorado IRS is watching this week's show. Income subject to Colorado state income taxes. No. Just like Florida, Texas pro players playing games in other states.
Right.
It's true. By the way, if you didn't know that, when these players go to play in New York, the city of New York takes the money out, takes 17% out of their game check.
Whether they're a New York team or not. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Whether you're a New York team or not. Like, unbelievable.
That must make for one hell of
Brody Brazil is shouting minor league stadium 100 times a day. Well, come on, Brody. That's not cool.
No, that's not
cool. I'll have to go on his show and set him straight. It is not a minor league stadium. Rob Manfred wants to know when JP will be back in the Central Florida region. Has he? I've never heard him say Central Florida region. Have you? I mean, I haven't listened to every press conference, but
it's always Tampa.
Yeah. Yes, Hunter Tubbs says March 31st deadline complete. They can now look for a new stadium location. Yeah, they can look anywhere. So we'll see.
Ebor.
JP is sneaking a trip over to Muni Financial. Maybe. Stooger McRae needs to get shirts made and sell them in the parking lot. All right. You hear that, Stooger?
Yeah, we might be able to facilitate that.
Yeah. He says more people need to take the signs with them. I agree. If they're going to let you have them, bring them. I didn't think they'd let you have them. So, yeah, as long, if sell Stu or Stu sell is okay, keep it simple. The NFL has changed the overtime rules. Both teams will have a turn with the ball. That's good.
Now, did they already vote on that?
I
guess they voted yet, did they?
Let's get Christopher saying that they did.
All right.
B says Orlando is a half relocation. The owners of Manfred will just approve it. Disney only 25 miles from Lake, and MLB thinks it's all the same. That's horribly incorrect, my friend. It's horribly incorrect. There are two distinct DMAs, two very distinct DMAs. Tampa is the 10th. I mean, they're the 10th largest now at last check, which includes Lakeland, Polk County, Pasco County, the 7-county area, Bradenton, Sarasota, and Tampa and Pinellas. That's the 10th or 11th largest DMA. And Orlando includes Sanford, Daytona Beach, not the Jacksonville market. That's a little different. Jacksonville or Daytona Beach, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, Sanford, Seminole, that whole area. That's the Orlando market, and that is the 15th largest. So, yes, Major League Baseball wants it closer to Orlando, but it's not coming to Orlando. The Cubs' Carson Kelly hit for the cycle without a torpedo bat. Can you believe it? What do you think of these torpedo bats, Timmy?
There's no way those are legal. Like, there is no possible way that can be deemed legal. I don't understand that. That is such a huge advantage. And I didn't know that teams were allowed to make their own bats. I thought they all had to get their bats from from Louisville Slugger, right? Like, I thought they had to all get from the same source.
No. There's a lot of different bat makers. And as far as obviously it conforms to the major league standards. You know, honestly,
I'd like to read that in the rule book because there's no way.
Well, what do you think's wrong with it?
You're allowed to have the Popeye arm barrel like that.
Yeah, well, I think the dimensions are only about how long it can be and how thick it can be, and this will sound really great on the radio. Yeah, and the composite of the bat, like what it can be made of, and basically they're shaving down the tip. Oh, this sounds awesome! Shaving down the tip with a longer, thinner shaft that leads to a bigger barrel, so it goes through the air better. You get more bat speed. You have a bigger barrel. You don't need the tip of the bat anyway. So why should the tip of your bat be fat if you don't need it?
So is there not a limit to the size of the barrel? Can you just make the barrel like a freaking huge?
No,
bat?
I think there's a limit to the size of the barrel, but obviously it must conform, or they would not be allowing them to use them. Obviously,
right.
Now they can outlaw them after the season, but I don't see why.
Why isn't every other team right now already placing their orders for these bats?
Well, I know the Rays are. The Rays have some players that are using them, and I think the more people see, I think guys, of course, they're especially baseball players. They're creatures of habit. They got their bats, and they don't want to screw around with it. But I guarantee you, every one of them's trying it out in batting practice, and they're going to decide whether they're going to use them. So I think I think along the lines of the tush push, I would not outlaw them.
Can you imagine with that barrel like that, corking that bat? What kind of power you'd get with a cork inside that thing?
Woo!
That's
what's got to happen. Super light. It would be super light.
You got to start corking those things just to see what happens. Too bad Sammy Sosa's not still playing.
B says, you people that romanticize baseball too much fail to understand the business aspect of it. Orlando is better financially. Your feelings and vibes don't cut it.
That is not true, sir. How is Orlando better financially?
It's a smaller market. You can't support the pro teams that you already have.
And it's a tourist town.
Yeah. It's a tourist town. Just because you get 70 million people to come in from Europe and South America, doesn't mean they're going to go to a baseball game. They're there for the parks. Some might, but that's not going to drive your attendance. And where's the ownership? Where's the city? Is the city ponied up $1 billion? I haven't heard anything from the politicians yet, anywhere. And how can you make an argument that it's better financially? It's a smaller TV market. I don't, give me some facts, B. Back it up with some facts, because you got none that I see. You just say it's better financially. Everybody knows it's a business. I get that. But here's the thing. If you're a sports owner, you are given a monopoly. You're given the only baseball team in Tampa Bay. Here it are. You're the Rays. You have the market monopoly, and probably promise the Orlando market monopoly as well. So that's your market that you get to market in exclusively. So you're given that by Major League Baseball. You have a obligation to the market that you're in to use the money and the revenue that you get from said team and put it back into the team. If you want to just make money, don't be a sports owner. That's not the gig. If you want to just make money, go back to Wall Street and be a bond trader. That's if you have a specific community responsibility if you own a sports team. You can't just run it like a business. You can, but you're going to get the stew treatment if you do. That's part of the business. It's the business, because you get your fan loyalty because of the market that you're given. He's certainly not earned the fan loyalty, the owner, but he gets it, and people support it because of this city. They support it in spite of him. So sorry, I will be romantic about baseball and other sports. If you're going to be a sports owner, let that be your hobby, not the reason you're using to pay private school for your kids, because that's not going to work. Because you got too many owners out there that will spend money, and especially in baseball where it really, really matters. So, yeah, I will romanticize it. Hunter says, been to 3 to 4 games so far. Unreal atmosphere. Never have had that at the Trop. The Rays belong in Tampa. Awesome. Agreed.
And you know what? I've been seeing on my timeline on X a few Tampa Bay area fans who have been posting pictures of the Trop from inside the Trop at baseball games and saying how much they miss it and how great the Trop will never have the Trop back, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, just go to a game in a different state. You've never been to a game in a different stadium, clearly.
No. Just
go to Steinbrenner. Go to anywhere else outside, and you will forget that the Trop ever existed. I promise you.
Thank you. Daniel Rivera says Orlando is not happening, B. Orlando now reminds me of Tampa Bay from 88 to 93 when we tried to get the White Sox, Mariners, and Giants. They all got new ballparks. Yeah, you're the new you're the new side chick, Orlando. Welcome to the game. There, you will be used by Major League Baseball to leverage against other markets, Tampa Bay included, to get the price up for the team, which is what Stu is doing by whispering to Orlando. But I can tell you, it ain't happening.
They ain't effing leaving.
You said it, not me. Christopher Cole says the A Stadium was packed last night, but that was because the Cubs were in town and the stadium holds 20,000. Hunter says 4 for 4 on sellouts so far. Tomorrow's game at 1 p.m. also sold out. How about that? What else we got here?
By the way, Sutter Health Park only holds 14,000, so it's not 20.
Yeah, I didn't think it was 20.
It's 14.
Unless they brought in some new seats. Daniel says now we'll start to see pressure ramp up on Stu to sell the team. Yeah, we heard it from Manfred on Friday, and that was not a friendly conversation that he had on Sirius XS. He called out Steve Sternberg and said, "What's your plan?" Because he knows he doesn't have it. Justin Pegg says, "Got to sell it out tonight. The Angels come in, which I'm iffy about, but then Braves, Red Sox, and Yankees will all be sellouts. They're all going to be sellouts." Justin, got news for you. Paolotini, Cafe Paradiso, says, "I saw the Mangum entourage at Sunday's game. One of his buddies, quarterback Minshew, was there. Reminds me of my buddy Chris Colabello, 7 years in the Cam League. Called up at 29 years old, 3-hour bus ride, got to the stadium an hour and a half before his major league debut." That's awesome. What a great story. What a great, great story Mangum is in the family. I mean, that's baseball, man. Yeah, and Gardner Minshew, too. That was a cool part of the story. What else we got from our families? Happy birthday to you, Tim, says Paulo.
Thank you, Paulo.
What else we got there?
By the way, Jeff Mangum, also the name of the lead singer from Neutral Milk Hotel.
Of course. Who didn't know that? John Hill confirms MLB has approved the bats. I sent you the official Yankee video regarding the bats. Yes, you did.
Yeah, I got that too, yeah.
It's working well for the Yankees, isn't it?
10 home runs a game average?
Yeah. Sacco reminds us that Victus is the official sponsor of MLB bats this year, no longer Louisville Slugger.
Right. I just said that out of habit. I know Mizuno makes bats. Everybody makes bats.
This one from Christopher Gold had some interesting comments about that he won't pass up a great offensive player at 19. Now, remember, Christopher, this is the lying season. They're not going to tell you what they're going to do at 19. I mean,
and it's not Bull's decision, by the way.
Well, he's got some say, but yeah, it's Jason Light in this. But I would be shocked. I would be shocked if they went wide receiver there. Because Hassan Reddick's on a 1-year deal.
Yep.
If you got a chance to get some of those edge rushers that are on the board at 19, and there'll be 2 or 3 of them, you got to be a knucklehead not to take them. Come on now. Jason Light is smarter than that. When the draft meets your need, like last year, when you get the center and the best center is available and you need a center, it doesn't get any better than that. And I'm expecting the same thing to happen here. So, all right. Any other thoughts on football, Timmy? You had some quotes you want to
get out. An interesting quote about Shaq Barrett that he threw out there because he was asked about the possibility of bringing back Shaq. He said, quote, "Oh, my gosh, we love Shaq. We'd love to see how things go here. We want to give him a fair opportunity to give him the best shot to play a little bit. We have to see how that goes. We'll keep monitoring that, but Shaq is always going to be a Buck," end quote. What that tells me is that there is zero chance Shaq Barrett sees the field as a Ray this year.
Yeah, as a Buck, yeah.
As a Buck, yeah.
Jason, of course, and Todd will always, say the greatest things about Shaq because he deserves it. We saw – I know last year maybe he wasn't in tip-top condition when he came back. Maybe a full off season he can get back. He's only, 34? Yeah. 33, 34? Listen, we'd all love to see it. I'm with Tim, though. I don't think this is a reality. I think they're going to load up at the position. I think they're going to draft one with the first overall pick. You already got Hassan Reddick. Mm-hmm. They re-signed Nelson. Yaya there. You got, who am I forgetting? Second round pick last year, Alabama, brain fart. Him. So you got a bunch of guys, and they'll probably draft one, I think, maybe in the 6th or 7th round. We'll see.
Right.
But they're gonna flood the position as they should. And corner. Bull said, talked about his depth at corner and said we don't have a whole lot of depth at corner. And he's absolutely right. So I think if they don't take a corner and an edge in the first two of the first 3 picks, I'll be shocked. And if the first 3 picks aren't inside linebacker, corner, edge, I'll be shocked. And whoever that person is going to be, might be defensive lineman. I think they go majority defense, if not all defense, because the offense is stacked. There's no needs. They've done everything they needed to do in free agency for the offense.
And you're bringing everybody back, so there's not like there's holes to fill except for in depth. The only thing that really that stood out for me on these quotes was about the new director of football research, Zach Beastline.
Yep.
When asked about how that happened, Light said, quote, "It's something Todd stressed that he wanted to have somebody to assist him in that role, and it's a full-time role. He's been doing it for a while. He's got a great reputation. He got a great background in analytics. He'll work with Jackie Davidson on that end, but on game day, he'll be working for Todd. We're just excited about that. That process has already started, and it's not as easy as some people think. It's a full-time job putting scenarios together, talking through them," end quote. So this kind of surprised me because he made it sound like it's something that Todd wanted, that he said, "Hey, go find me somebody to help me out with timeouts and late game situations, late half situations." Because, again, as you and I stress so often, you're the defensive coordinator for your team. You're not just the head coach. And you don't have time or the capacity to process both sides of the ball at every given moment on the football field. So you've got to have somebody in your ear that's able to pay attention to the things that you're distracted from. And they're important things.
100% agree, partner. And the fact that Todd, is the guy that's leading the charge on that, that's great. It just shows, lack of ego. He's not a stubborn, egotistical person that, my way or the highway. Is like, I need to be better in this position. Go get me some help.
Yeah.
I mean, what more could you ask for in a coach? I think that's awesome. So
I thought that was great. Yeah, I wanted to stress that.
And listen, you're 2-6 and 7-point games. Let's do better. We got to do better than that. He knows it. Everybody knows it. And let's just hope he's going to be more aggressive.
Yep.
All right, a couple things before we get out of here. Huge thanks to our folks at Riveters. We have gotten a tremendous response from our listeners and watchers, viewers on Riveters. Tons of stuff up on Twitter. You guys are going there, taking pictures. You go there. I don't know what they're going to give you, but if you tell them you heard on JP show, they've been giving free drinks. I don't know. I leave it up to them. But we appreciate you going in there and mentioning our name. That's awesome. They are the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. All their food is made fresh. They have an incredible happy hour, 3 to 7, Monday through Friday, $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells. Great food as well. Wing Wednesdays, get 5 for $5 and $5 wells, all at Riveters. So go check that place out. All right, partner. I think we covered it all.
I think so.
All right. Love you guys. I got to show you this before I get out of here. I'll just show you this. Just a real quick remote picture. Look at the snow coming down on here. Woodall was going to give you the Mike Tyson ass today, but now I think he's said he's not. So can you see that?
All we see is, there goes. It's coming. There we go. Oh, my God, dude. God, I miss Breckenridge. I haven't been there in years.
Yeah, it is coming down. Look at this. See all the snow on the trees. Yep. So beautiful. Yeah. So,
that's nice.
All right. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. If not, the trees may claim another victim.
Well, it's me and Johnny tomorrow. You can take off if you want.
All right, cool.
Yeah, me and Johnny will handle things. We'll talk a little golf as the Valero Texas Open is this week. We'll talk some more Bucs covering the league meeting and Jason Light, some more draft rumors from the Bucs. We'll talk some Rays, talk some Lightning. They got the Islanders tonight. We'll talk about all of that for you tomorrow.
Sounds great. Yeah, I forgot to talk about the Bolts tonight. We got Isles tonight, 3 points out of first. Let's go get that Atlantic Division. Love to see it. Game 7's at our place. All right, thank you, guys. Thanks to all our sponsors. We will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.